Hello everyone, my name is Shivam and welcome to a new episode. Today we're going to talk about how I read 2 books a week and I can walk you all through this such that by the end of this video you can learn how to do the same. Yeah, and you will be able to do that at no additional time spent. That means no reading in the evening, just you're doing these chores, and as you're doing these chores you're going to be picking up on books. Super simple. So back when I was a kid I had an uncle who would always read a lot, and I realized that he was so well read that he was just an amazing guy. That's when I decided that all through my adult life I am going to be someone who reads a lot. The only drawback to that was that I usually did not have much time in the day. But at the same time I realized that there was a lot of other stuff that I was doing where I really could be doing something else at the same time. For example, I was driving, and I was driving at least an hour and a half every day when I was working a job. And nowadays I spend a lot of time making my food. If I'm making 4 meals a day, that's at least an hour of cooking time, in addition to at least one workout a day, which is another 45 minutes. So overall, it's a lot of time that I spend where I can be doing something else. So my solution to this was that I use audiobooks. Now, I understand that some people find it easy to use audiobooks and some people find it really difficult and even downright boring when listening to audiobooks. For me, I find them quite engaging, especially if the narration is really awesome. So I personally use Audible nowadays, but earlier I've used all kinds of sources. There are a few places where you get free audiobooks as well, and I'll link them down in the description as well for y'all to know. So here's what I do. With reference to certain topics of interest, I have already highlighted certain books that I want to read next on my Goodreads app. Now, when I have to find a new book, it's just a matter of going through all the cool books that I found interesting in the past and just pick one from the audiobook collections. Now, Audible has a very wide range of books, so I'm very lucky when it comes to that. Additionally, one thing which matters a lot to me is the quality of narration. So what I do is I preview the book, and if I like the way the person is speaking out the book, I definitely download it. Now, depending on the speed of the narration, I can actually speed up the audiobook to 1.2 or 1.5x. That's huge, because if an audiobook is an average of 6 hours and you speed it up by 1.5, you're actually finishing up that whole book in 4 hours as opposed to 6 hours. So that saves you a lot of time. Secondly, I'm going to be identifying those things in the day where I can afford to be listening to a book as I'm doing something. For example, my meals are pretty much pre-planned, and I know that I'm going to take 15 minutes every meal, which is 4 meals a day. So that's 1 hour in cooking meals that I spend just doing nothing. Additionally, I am working out for an hour, and I know that initially you will feel like a serial killer listening to audiobooks as you work out, but over a period of time, I got used to it, and I'm sure that you will be able to too. And finally, if you find yourself getting confused, because sometimes I get confused when listening to an audiobook. So recently I've been listening to a few fiction pieces, and those have been a little bit confusing to keep track of. So what I do is I go ahead and read the summary or listen to the summary of the audiobook first. And I know that's a little bit lame, but I read to learn more from the books. So as much as I can learn, it's not so much about exciting myself with the story. And if that's your thing, then you could just listen to the audiobook and listen to the summary later. But what I do is I do listen to the summary first, if in case I am getting confused, and then I get a good idea of what's going on in the text. So that's another tip there for you. So there you have it, guys. How I read 2 books a week. I use this method to read 2 books a week, and so far it's been pretty good. I have managed to read over 180 books over the past 2 or 3 years, and obviously I don't read 2 books every week, but on my good weeks I do manage reading 2 books a week. Thank you for watching/listening to me. I hope you have a good rest of your day. If you like the content on the channel, go ahead and give me a like. And if you want to stick around for more content, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Have a good rest of your day.